Hello everyone and welcome to another video review from 3DGameMan.com. I'm Rodney Reynolds and today I'm having a look at a computer case that's inspired by a sports car, the SilverStone PM01. This thing has lots of radiator support. It includes fans. You can install more. It has a LED strip, a window, and lots of other stuff. Let's have a look. Now, while this is sports car inspired, thank goodness it isn't too godly. I think the overall styling, fit and finish, and build quality is quite good. You have a plastic top, a plastic mesh front, but the rest of the case is pretty much steel, except for that great window on the left side panel. Now, it comes in three different color options. This one, black, which is quite shiny with red LEDs, and by the way, they have LED fans at the front, three of them, and an LED strip around the window. The same goes for the white model, except that one comes with blue LEDs as well. That one is quite glossy and shiny and has a piano finish, but you can get a matte black with red LEDs. The overall dimension on this is 220 by 571 by 560 millimeters. It's 70.3 liters and weighs in at 9 kilograms. Now, the car theme really holds true on the top panel, where you have ports on either side, and have a look at the back. Quite nice. There's mesh here as well. Now, this top panel can be completely removed. You can install up to 3 120 millimeter fans or up to 2 140 millimeter fans. Optionally, you can install a 240, 280, or 360 millimeter rad. On the top left is a power button. You've also got the power LED here. And speaking of LEDs, there's an LED switch at the top right, and there's 4 different LED modes: full brightness, half brightness, breathing, and off. Also up here are 4 USB ports. There are 2 USB 3 and 2 USB 2, and here are the audio jacks. Now, the front panel is pretty much all mesh. This will provide excellent ventilation. Behind this is a dust filter, and behind that are 3 included red LED intake fans. Now, while the included ones are 140 millimeter fans, you can optionally install up to 3 120 millimeter fans or a 240, 280, or 360 millimeter rad. To remove the front panel, you'll first need to take off the left and right panel and remove 4 screws. Those screws are just on the inside. There's 2 at the top and 2 more at the bottom. Once you've done that, the front panel will come off. Here's the removable dust filter and the included 3 LED intake fans. To take off the top panel, you'll first need to remove the left and right panels and then 2 screws on each side. Next, just lift the panel at the back and slide it backwards. And with the top panel removed, have a look. It gives you easy access when you're installing fans or a radiator. Now, on the left side panel, there's a really large window, and again, it has an LED strip all the way around. Now, while the right side panel is plain, you can pretty much use it as a mirror. Take a look here, super glossy. At the back, they include a 140 millimeter exhaust fan. Optionally, you can install a 120 millimeter. Here's where the I/O shield plate gets installed, and they include 7 ventilated expansion slots. Here's more ventilation. At the bottom, you can install a standard ATX power supply, and they do have a removable filter for that power supply. Plus, there are 4 thumb screws, 2 on each side panel. On the inside, they have a large shroud at the bottom that goes right from the front to the back of the case. This will cover up the power supply, the drives, and all of the cables. Excellent, considering the case comes with a window. Now, this will definitely come in handy if you're installing a large radiator. As well, they have lots of rubber grommeted holes for routing cables behind the motherboard tray. Also, there are punch outs for organizing the cables behind the motherboard tray. And by the way, thankfully, there's lots of space between it and the right side panels to tuck those cables away. Now, on the motherboard tray, there is a large hole for the cooler's retention plate. And if you're wondering about video card length, power supply length, and cooler height, well, let's get into that now. You can fit a power supply that is up to 240 millimeters long and video cards that are up to 16.5 inches in length. But there's a width restriction of 6.8 0.88 millimeters. You can also fit CPU coolers that are up to 180 millimeters in height. Now, it would have been nice if they had thumb screws on the expansion slots, but instead they used regular screws. Now, there's around 10 to 15 millimeters of space behind the motherboard tray and the right side panel, which is certainly ample to hide cables, and they include SilverStone Velcro ties here for organizing them. You can also install more. As well, a 10-port fan hub, 3-pin fans only, and it's powered with a 4-pin Molex lead. Now, as for drives, you can fit 5 2.5-inch drives here. 2 on these brackets, and by the way, all you need to do is loosen this thumb screw, take it off, mount the drive on this, and put it right back into place, and fasten that thumb screw again. To install drives here, though, you'll have to actually use the included screws. You can install 3 more 2.5-inch drives in this space. At the bottom, you can mount a 2.5-inch drive or a 3.5-inch drive, and here you can mount either 3 3.5-inch drives or 3 2.5-inch drives, and to do so, just pinch on either side, take the plastic drive rail out, mount the drive, and then put it back into place. At the bottom, there are 4 rubber feet, and notice the ones at the back. They are elevated, and this will keep the case up off of the surface. Good, because it will allow the power supply's intake fan to do its job and pull in cool air. Now, when Silverstone contacted me about reviewing this case, I was a little bit concerned because it was sports car inspired, and a lot of times when cases are themed after cars and movies, they can look pretty darn awful, at least in my opinion. I generally like cases that are sleek and elegant, but thankfully I'm pleasantly surprised with the overall styling on this case. It has lots of features. Plenty of water cooling support, lots of fans, drive options, has a window, LEDs. I mean, the list goes on and on. However, you cannot install an extended ATX motherboard in this, nor is there a 5.25-inch drive bay, and really the top and front panels are not easy to remove. Also, with this case, it's a little bit on the expensive side, over $100. Although, all things considered, it is a kick-ass product. Until next time, take care. Well, that's it, but I hope you enjoyed the review, and if you think this and other videos that I produce are great, please like them, share, and subscribe to the channel. Also, your comments are very welcome, and if you have any questions, let me know.